Hi all, can you all hear me? Is my voice audible, guys? Okay, great. Thanks, Vishnu. We'll start in 1 minute, guys, and it's 10:29. I wish you a very good morning. I think we can start. Yes, Deepesh, you're there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Right. So before we start on, good morning to one and all. Today is our 12th webinar on 100th webinar mission, and we are HIEE. HIEE is the institute who trains electrical engineers basically on electrical system design, which helps them in bridging the gap between the industry as well as their academics. It's my privilege to introduce Deepesh, who's the co-founder of Retron Energies, who has done his bachelor's, and then he's into Retron Energies as in startup. And Retron Energies is majorly works on with the EV sector as well as PV renewables, and they are into making an hybrid EV vehicle with existing vehicles. Yes, Deepesh, I think you can introduce more about yourself. Thanks.
Yes, yes. Yes, so thank you for giving me the opportunity, Bhavya ma'am. It's been a pleasure working with HIEE. So I have been taking a lot of courses in HIEE as of from the past before COVID times. So it's been a great pleasure of mine to be a part of HIEE and tutoring many students from all over India. So I am the current co-founder of EV Retron Energies Private Limited company. So I'm working there. We have been a startup since 3 to 4 years of time, and now we are currently focusing on retrofittation and also battery production, and also many more things here. So we are generally an initial stage electric vehicle startup. So we are also focusing on e-vehicle retrofittation. So that we are going to talk a little bit more later on, and also battery production, and also some more for future projects we are planning on. So that I'll be telling you in detail in the upcoming slides. So how are you all, guys? I hope everyone is safe out there during these uncertain times. So it's been like 8 to 9 months that we have been surviving with COVID. So let us see what are the challenges and opportunities in EV industry. So I guess everyone here is from engineering, right? Engineering background.
Right, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, great. So you might be aware of what are the things that are going on in the market, that is going on in the industry, a huge development there. So we are going to talk a lot about things. Okay. So we are going to talk a lot about change in technologies, and also job opportunities, and also state EV policies, and how they are going to help us in the future. Okay. So we all know that, right? Future of India is going to be electric. So we'll talk a little bit more about, see, this is the content that we are going to cover today. So I'll tell a brief description about electric vehicles and why we are shifting towards electric vehicles. And then we'll talk a little bit more about the types, and also the classification, and also the components of electric vehicles. And maybe then we'll go to the state policies. I'm not sure about that because that is a bit lengthy topic. And maybe we'll just switch on to the job opportunities, and a little more, two more sub chapters there. Okay. So one little question here, guys. So why is every country trying to switch towards electric vehicles? So is there any prior reason for that? So kindly put your views in the chat box. So we'll have an interactive session here. So we have seen that from nearly 5 to 6 years, there are so many countries. So who are actually trying to switch towards pure electric vehicles, or else electric vehicles of any kind. Okay. So to reduce fuel consumption, to reduce pollution. So pollution, okay. Okay, great. So good answers, guys. See, every country around the world has pledged towards sustainable transportation and also using of renewable energy resources rather than non-renewable energy resources. So we'll get to know about why. Okay, so one dirty picture that you can see here in the screen right now. So that is a picture taken from Delhi. So this was a position before COVID times actually. So where just a second, there is some technical issue. Okay, can you see the screen, guys? Yes. So this was a scenario back in 2019 and 18. So where we were able to see, we are not able to see the road, right? So this was the scenario in Delhi, in and around Delhi, because of large number of vehicles in the market, and also because of huge traffic, we are not able to see the traffic, and also there were so many adverse effect on the health of the health of humans and also all the living beings. So I'll just come over some of the few things here. See, yes. So the ingredients of air pollution here. So air pollution is, basically the mixture of particles and gases. So just a second. Yes. So air pollution is basically the mixture of harmful concentration of both, the mixtures and particles gases here. So what they generally do is that, so a lot of, just a second, guys. Yes. Yes. So IC engine vehicles. So majorly, okay, there is one technical issue. Just a second. Yes. See, IC engine vehicles do emit a lot of pollutants and greenhouse gases here, so which are released into the atmosphere, and they are the reason of smog and air pollution. See, the various pollutants that you can see here: the particulate matter, the carbon monoxide, the CH4, methane, and NOx into a gases, volatile organic compounds, total hydrocarbons, and sulfur dioxide. So these are the major pollutants that are released by IC engine vehicles. Okay, so we already know that. See, there are various sources of air pollution, right? Not only the IC engine vehicles, but also industries that are actually working on coal thermal power plants, and also they are the major source of air pollution. But when we can see here, in and around the world, there are heavy usage of IC engine vehicles, and that actually cause a lot of air pollution here. So I'll tell a little bit more about. Yes, more about the pollution levels here. So particulate matter here, see, there are tiny, extremely, small particles which enter the throat and the nose, and because of that, it affects the lungs and the brain. Okay, and carbon monoxide is a odorless gas that is very dangerous for human health. And NOx, VOC, and total hydrocarbons are some of the gases that actually build a low-level ozone layer, and because of that, there is major respiratory illnesses. Okay, so because of the heat air which is developed in here, so what happens is that there is also rupture in the ozone layer here. Okay, so and also because of that, so there are a large number of diseases that can occur in the system of humans. Okay, so what you can see in this image, so what you can see in this image, SO2 sulfur dioxide impacts the central nervous system, and irritations of eye, SO2, O3, PM, particulate matter. These are some of the effects of the pollutants and the greenhouse gases here. Okay, and this particular website, the www.aqicn.org. So this is a website where you can see the pollution levels here. Okay, it will tell you the air quality index of a particular area here. So if you can go to the website and also find your location over there, you can find various numbers over there. So that will indicate if your city, or else if your state, or else your area is under which particular pollution level, okay, intensity. So here in Hyderabad, it is around 155 to 200 points. So which is unhealthy, a bit unhealthy because of heavy pollution here. And in Delhi, it is around 163 to 180. So that is extreme actually. And also there are so many industrial places where you can find so many of the pollution levels there. Okay. So this is one of the major cause why we were actually moving towards usage of electric vehicles or else pure energy resources. So this is one Paris Agreement. So all the countries have come together and in a UN climate change conference, and they have pledged that. So in some years we are actually going to decrease the amount of pollution level in our countries. Okay, so that is where they aimed usage of more renewable energy resources rather than depending upon fossil fuels. Okay, see here one see now we are having a population of 6 billion currently. So maybe by 2050 it can become 10 billion. Okay, so vehicle that we are using right now is 700 million. So that means in Delhi people are having like 4 to 5 cars in a home, and they take in odd and even out. So by 2050 there will be 2.5 billion vehicles on the road. So it may be a two-wheeler, three-wheelers, and also four-wheeler automobile vehicles, so that are going to cause a huge pollution there. And in order to curb that, in order to prevent permanent smog and extreme air pollution, so we have to take some preventive measures here. So what exactly is the solution here? So is there any solution, guys? Can anyone tell me? So what is the solution in order to curb in order to curb the extreme pollution, and also in order to make sure that our countries and cities are not covered with extreme smog? And also yes, and also because of pollution, so here what happens is that there are so many economical imbalances occurring in the system, right? So because of that there are so many natural calamities that are going to occur. So in this year we have seen that, yes, so in this year we have seen that there are so many natural calamities occurring. So on also in the places where they were they did not occur earlier. Okay, so we see a heavy rainfall, heavy cold, heat climate, heavy temperatures here. So this is because of reason. This can be because of pollutions also, because we are actually trying to imbalance the ecological scenarios here, and that is the reason why there are so many natural calamities occurring here. So what is the solution? Yes, solution one may be less dependent upon fossil fuels that we are trying to do right now. We already know that the current price of diesel and petrol have already gone up. It is above 80 always. Back then it was from 73 to 80 rupees, but it is now above 80 rupees. Right? Promotion of public transport. So we always prefer to travel in a car or so, only individually. So where it will cost you more, it will create more emissions than normal public transport do. And also lower zero emission vehicles. So if we try to implement lower zero emission vehicles such as a pure electric vehicle or else hybrid electric vehicle, maybe we can curb the global warming here. Okay, so there is a lot of measures needed to be taken. Yes, yes, good. Yes, Rachri. So promotion of public transport, lower zero emission vehicles, less dependent on fossil fuels, and also switching towards renewable energy resources. Okay, so now we can already see that so many countries and so many states in India as well as other countries also, they are implementing solar charging stations, and also they are implementing solar power houses and also solar grids. So where we are trying to generate electricity with the help of pure sunlight, right? So we are trying to switch from coal thermal power plants to much more renewable, much more pure sources, that is the solar power, right? So you can actually tell that, because this may be not this may not be the solution. So we cannot really decrease the what do you call, the petrol and the diesel automobiles, and just buy in all the electric vehicles. So in that way, there is nothing, the pollution is not going to be controlled. But in recent years, so we have seen that there is a lot of, and also due to COVID-19, so people are trying to figure out a much more isolated and also cheap way to travel there. And also that is where e-cycles and e-bikes, smaller bikes with no extra features such as the range and the speed, so they are actually buying that. So we'll also see that in the next upcoming slides. Okay. Yes. So this is one of the GHG gases emissions chart here. So what you can see, so energy used in industry and energy used in transport, constitute up to 73.2%, where we are using this amount of energy that is being generated by the thermal power plant. Okay. So now in the future, we are actually shifting towards, more sustainable power plant there. Yes. So that is a little bit about what you call the pollution and why we are actually switching towards electric vehicles, right? So let me just come up with the startups once, and tell you a little bit more about how the world is switching towards electric vehicles. So back then, when we were moving out with automobiles, there are only some of the leading manufacturers, right? Such as Honda, Hyundai company, Tata company. They were only such limited companies which were focusing on manufacturing IC engine vehicles, right? So, but now the every scenario has been changed. So from the past 5 to 10 years, we can see that every company, every startup company is having its own, bike, or else bike model, or a scooty model, or else cycle model, or else four-wheeler. This sector has been given the flexibility to create your own things. So there are certain standards to be followed. So they, people have the flexibility to create their own things, so have their own brand, and also sell them, sell them greatly. So this company, so what do you think is the first company here? So which company do you think is the first one? That is basically an electric bike, electric two-wheeler. So any other guesses here? So that is not Reva, not Tesla. So that is Torque Motors. Here they are also one of the prominent EV manufacturers. So Torque Motor. The second one is what? Second one, any guesses? So second one, it is a basically electric scooter with aesthetic look, with also good speed, 80 kilometers per hour, and it is having a beautiful cluster there, a display cluster. And it can be quickly charged, and also it has a display cluster with integrated mobile application. Okay, so that is yes. So the second vehicle is Ether Energy. So Ether Energy is one of the leading EV manufacturer right now. So they are also startup company. So they have started their company during their BTech times only. So we have a lot of flexibility here for startups. They are in the Series B funding right now. So they have been funded by so many big companies there. Okay, so Hero Electric and also so many other companies, electric vehicles that we can find here. So Ather Energy is one of the prominent EV manufacturing company which has received major fundings from different countries and also from prominent people there. Okay, so now they are into Series B funding. Also, they have increased the production capacity. So they are out in each and every state possible. Okay, so the third company that you can see here is Okinawa company. So you might have seen their models all over India. So they are also leading manufacturers, and also they have a subsidy with them also. They are eligible for FAME 2 subsidy, and whenever you buy their vehicle, government gives you nearly 5,000 rupees to 20,000 rupees subsidy when you buy each vehicle. Okay, so the this one, what uh, the bike that you can see here is which one? The red bike that you can see. So that is a revolt bike.
Revolt.
Yes, yes, great. So that is a revolt bike RV300 and RV400. They have two models, so which are very good, and also they have been tested for a wide variety of ranges and hill climbings. So they are good. They are really good. So that is a basic, not budget friendly, but very good vehicle there. So battery is also one of the startup company which is having good sales, and also what you can see in the last image is one of the beautiful aesthetic vehicle there. So that is much like a sports bike, so which is having a integrated three integrated application, also three battery packs. So that company is Ultraviolet Automotive. Have been a great fan of that company actually. So they have their battery pack which is actually 7 times to 8 times more denser than any other battery pack available in the internet in the world. Okay, so they have seven international patents, not national patents. They have seven international patents, and also they are focusing on EV charging, fast charging chargers also. Okay, so these are normally the 5 to 10% of the startup companies that I've mentioned here. So basically, so in a week, so back in 2019 when we are about to start our own company, register our own company, we found out that in a week there are 300 startup companies that were being registered in Ministry of Corporate Affairs, MCA. Okay, so 300 companies in a week that was registered in a startup in a MCA website. So out of which nearly 150 to 200 companies were electric vehicle companies, electric vehicle related companies. Okay, so now after in 2019 and 20, there are nearly 1500 to 2000 electric vehicle manufacturing companies in India only. Okay, so I'll show you some possibilities where you can create your own vehicles or else have your own company also. So we were also a BTech, we also started this project, converting a pure electric, converting a diesel engine, diesel vehicle into pure electric vehicle. So back in our BTech times, so we started a project there, where we retrofitted a pure IC engine vehicle into pure electric vehicle. So we tested it for miles, and we found out really good results. And then we moved forward with new technologies. And we also did a lot of good market survey, and where we found out that there is also huge benefits and also huge fortune in owning a startup company. And that is where we stand right now. Okay, so there are so many startup companies that are coming out, having their own technologies here, having their own it is not that we only have to manufacture the whole vehicle. So I'll tell you an example here. So suppose Ether Energy. So Ether Energy will not be building each and every part of their own. So they will be sourcing the design, or also sourcing the dimensions, or else the technology to any other third party manufacturer. So they will be manufacturing all the technologies in bulk, and they will be Ether Energy, or the company will be integrating them. Okay, so that is what a startup company does actually. So they actually try to integrate the best components that are available in the market. So if there is no best component available in the market, they create of their own, and they integrate together. Okay, and see, next year 2021, so I was just astonished by the results that I happened to see in a website actually. So there is a EV revolution that is going to be there in 2021. Okay, I'm not sure if it is going to be there in the first 3 to 4 months because of COVID, and also because of political issues around the world. So we'll see. In 2021, there will be so many electric vehicle manufacturers there who are going to release their electric vehicles. So it is estimated that 400 different electric vehicles will be revealed in 2021. So 400 electric vehicles is not a joke actually. So 400 different types of electric vehicles actually. Okay, so that may be two-wheeler, three-wheeler, and also four-wheelers. Okay, so now we have like a bunch of companies who are already into manufacturing of two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and four-wheelers. But in 2021 and 22, So there are nearly 400 companies that are coming out. Okay, so what does that mean actually? How will that be helpful to you guys, as postgraduates or graduates? See, so India needs more electric vehicles. And also, government of India and also state, they are actually trying to make people move switch from normal diesel or petrol engine vehicles into electric vehicles, right? So they are giving them incentives, they are giving them subsidies, they are giving them loans, and also so many other benefits, tax exemptions and all that, in order to switch them from diesel, conventional vehicles to pure electric vehicles, right? So there is a lot of production to be needed to be done there. Okay, so in that production company, in that battery manufacturing company, so they need skilled manpower there. Okay, the skilled manpower can only be generated from engineers. So engineers are very much efficient if they have some limited knowledge in that particular area. Okay, so in the next 5 to 6 years you will be seeing that, in the next 10 years, I guess, so there will be no IC engine vehicles that will be in the market right now. So you will see all the mechanic shops turning into electric vehicle service or maintenance shops. And also every other showrooms in the country will also be turned out into electric vehicle showrooms. Okay, so in 10 or 12 years. Okay, so in the next 5 years, there is going to be a huge change in the technology here, because many of the big players in the market, the Adani Group, BHEL company, and so many other Amaraja company, so they are trying to establish battery manufacturing plants and also motor manufacturing in and around some countries, in some states there. Okay, so there we have a lot of demand for verified skilled manpower there. So if at all we try to meant to the technology, meant to see, if we match the requirements, then we will able to get a good job there. Okay, so back in 2017 or 18, so when we have completely finished the hybrid electric vehicle project, and also some more pure electric vehicle conversions, so we do not have a plan for starting a startup, but then we were looking out for some opportunities where we can showcase our projects and get a good job there. So but what happened was, we were not able to get any jobs, because no one was focusing on hybrid electric vehicles, or no one was focusing on a R&D there. Okay, so many of the companies in the market, so they were actually importing things from China and assembling them and just lending them. So there they did not require any skilled labors there. So but in 2018 and 19, so what happened was, there was a great technology change, and there was also great change in the mindset of the people. So because of so many schemes from Narendra Modi, so wherein we were trying to make things in India itself, made in India and make in India movements. So much of the companies were trying to focus on things made in India only. So from that time, people were actually focusing more on EV technologies. Okay, so but then we actually failed to lower down the cost. I'll also tell you why. So we were not able to compete with the Chinese market, and still we are actually importing things from them. Okay, so this is one, how COVID-19 impact on EV industry. So I'll just show them. So you can ask me doubts in between if you're having anything. So I'll please be interacting in the chat box. So if there is anything, we'll see there. Just text me in there. Okay, so COVID-19. So before the lockdown start, everything was unusual to every of the industry. There were so many companies who actually bought down so much of imports from China, and also they were there was a disruption in the EV market also. Okay, so but then after, in between and after COVID-19, there was a huge sales of electric bicycles actually. Okay, so in April to June, in the first quarter, so the companies were actually in the loss actually. So but then from July, August, and afterwards, so people were people, the sales of vehicles increased actually. Okay, so that happened to be a great opportunity. So the demand was greater than the supply post lockdown. If you can see here, this is a report generated from the internet. So the demand was really greater than the supply post lockdown. Okay, after lockdown, there was a great demand. So and also in Hyderabad, so for example, so there was nearly 48% increase in sales of two-wheelers and two-wheelers electric vehicles. Okay, only two-wheelers. So in Hyderabad, there is not much usage of three-wheeler electric e-rickshaws as in New Delhi, but two-wheeler sales were heavy there. The companies which are selling was the Pure EV. Pure EV have their different types of electric scooters, and also Okinawa is having fame to subsidy where you can get yes where you can get what do you call subsidies from the government. And also and also what you can see here in the last point, hero cycles penetration today increased to 200 cities. Yes. So what happened here, so many of the people were sitting at home not doing anything, so they just want to come out, and also they do not want to travel in public transportation. So that was a major drawback there, so that drawback was constrained to equal benefit there. So many of the electric bicycle manufacturers and also hero electric cycles, so they happen to have a lot of sales, at that time. So nearly, there was a 200 100 to 120% increase of sales in the market. And also they are actually estimated to increase their service centers in around 200 cities. So their electric cycles have been the cheapest of all the vehicles that we can find in the market. So we'll also look into that if time permits us. Yes. So there is a question here. So what are the goods and products are being imported from China for EVs? So why were they not available in India? Could you please explain it? Uh, so I'll tell you. So China is basically, not to degrade India. So China is basically 10 to 12 years, 12 to 20 years, I suppose, 12 to 20 years ahead of India in technology, in development, in each and everything. Okay. So India is lagging behind in technology, in developing manufacturing plants, and also the major reason why we are actually depending upon China is that, so they manufacture things in a much more cheap cost than we can do. Okay. They have skilled labor. The cost of labor is less, and the cost of raw material is less. So no matter what component you give them, they will manufacture that in a cheapest cost possible. Okay. So it has been a great hub of electronics. All the rams electronics that we can find in the that we can find in the laptop, or else in our mobile phones, or also in the Apple laptop, the rams that we can find out. So everything is sourced from China only. So China has been a major part in electronics, the toys. Every market owns them. So because of the cheap labor cost and also cheap manufacturing technologies there. So I'll give an example there. So back then, Ather Energy tried to implement their own cluster board. So that was actually costing them nearly 4,000 to 5,000 rupees. Okay. So the same technology, the same design was given to China, and it was manufactured there. So it was costing only 2,000 rupees. Okay. So there is a large cost difference there. So even though we can manufacture things, even though we can design our own things, there is a huge change in the cost incurred with that. Huge overall cost of the product increases because of the technology we use, because of the material we use, and also because of the cheap labor, we are not having here. Okay. So and also their technology is very much high, so they can actually copycat things in a way more productive way. Okay. We all know that. So once any phone is released or anything is released in the market, so as soon as in 1 week or so, we can see a copy product of it, right? Yes. Okay, great. So I guess I have answered your question. So we'll then move towards something related to EVs now. So we'll see what are the types of EVs. So that there are basically three types of EVs, four types actually. So first one is hybrid, plug-in hybrid, BEV, and FCEV. Okay. So FCEV is nothing but fuel cell electric vehicle. So BEV is battery electric vehicle. HEV is hybrid electric vehicle, and PHEV is plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. So can anyone tell me the difference between the first two pictures here? So what is HEV actually? Yes. So can anyone tell me the quick difference between the first two vehicles that is mentioned in the diagram here?
In hybrid electric vehicle, the combination of uh, two or more kinds of engines will be there. If if the battery fails, then one or the other backup device works and the vehicle runs. In plug-in, we need to activate the battery, it seems, sir.
Okay, great.
So there is a difference of charging the battery. In hybrid, it will charge from gasoline engine also, and in plug-in, it will charge from only from electricity.
Yes. So any other point of views here? Yes, great. Uh, so hybrid vehicle is basically a vehicle which is having two energy sources here. So one is the engine and another one is the electric motor. So the one thing that you can see in between the arrow mark, the power mark here, that is something known as regenerative braking, or else where the gasoline engine is the kinetic motion is turned into electricity, which is then powered to the battery pack, and the battery pack is in turn provide supply to the electric motor to run the vehicle. Okay, so the major difference between a hybrid electric and a plug-in hybrid is that, so plug-in hybrid will have the flexibility to charge the vehicle from outdoors. Okay, so we need to charge the vehicle by using external socket. So but wherein what hybrid electric vehicle, we are not we will not be able to charge our vehicle from outside, but whereas in turn, so gasoline engine, whenever we are at stable, whenever we are braking the vehicle, so much of the kinetic energy is then transformed into electrical energy there. Okay, so yes, exactly, Vishnu. So BEV, what you can see here is having a simpler powertrain here, an electric motor, rechargeable battery pack, and some more electronic components there. So which can be directly connected to a wall socket and be recharged. So there are less emissions. There are zero emissions, whereas in plug-in and hybrid there are less emissions only. And government is actually focusing more on zero emissions rather than less emissions. So I'm not sure if in India HEV and BEV are going to sustain. So because government and also we are actually focusing on more zero emission related vehicles. Yes, can you please tell me more? Yes. Yes, and the major difference, see, the major drawback in hybrid vehicle is that, so we have to do a lot of maintenance there. So we also have to maintain the gasoline engine and also the electric motor as well. But here the emissions are not decreased. So what was made out in a recent survey is that, so people who are using plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, so they are not actually charging their vehicles. So they are actually running it on gasoline engine only, and because of that, then this particular vehicle is type of vehicle is not much used in and around India also. Okay, so what do you think, which is the best electric vehicle for Indians here? So which can be the best electric vehicle here?
Sir, I think it is a plug-in hybrid.
Plug-in hybrids.
So what do you think, why do you think is PHEV more better?
Sir, in that case, the gasoline engine here has to run both the gasoline engine as well as the electric motor and charging.
Mm-hmm.
But in the plug-in hybrid, we can charge the battery or the charge or the energy we require to run the motor in the car can be we can get from anywhere, no sir, from the external plugins,
Yes. So but what are we actually focusing on? Are
from the
we
external energy
focusing?
sources. I mean,
Yes. Yes, good one. So what are we actually focusing on? Are we focusing on zero emissions, or else only decreasing the emissions?
Zero emission, sir.
Yes, yes, zero emissions. So, there are different types of EVs that are available in the market right now. So, but depending upon the demographic area and also the government incentives that we are actually finding out, so we can see that there are so many incentives on only BEVs, not on HEVs or PHEVs here. Okay, so there are also certain HEVs in the market right now, such as Toyota Camry, so which is available in Tamil Nadu. We have seen some of the vehicles that are roaming out there. So, and also BEVs, we can see Mahindra E-Verito, Mahindra Reva, and also so many other vehicles that are already in the market right now. Okay. Yes, I'll tell you about the yes, motors also. So we will also look into what are the different types of are the different type of FCVs also. See, in a hybrid electric vehicle, basically they are actually subdivided into four more things: series hybrid, parallel hybrid, series parallel hybrid, and complex hybrid. So we are not going to get in detail about that. So that is the major difference is between the the integration of electric motor and gasoline engine there, and also the battery pack. In series hybrid vehicle, so every motor and the gasoline engine are connected in series. So in parallel, they are connected in parallel, and series parallel, they are the combination of both. And the complex is a little bit more complex to understand actually, if not shown the diagrams. Okay, so this is popular HEVs and BEVs in the current market right now. So Tesla is one of the world's prominent company, so which has created, developed more products. First one was the Tesla Roadster, the speed vehicle, and S3 EX and Y. So they are the different types of vehicles with advanced technology in it. So BEVs and PHEVs in the market. So HEVs, we can see Toyota Camry, Honda Civic, Toyota Prius. So these are some of the the vehicles that are in the market right now. Okay. So what you can see here. Okay, just a minute.
Instead of a
Yes, yes.
diesel input, there is a charge port, sir, for the charging.
Okay, you're talking about.
The components of HEV.
Okay, okay, great, great. So this is one internal diagram of a pure electric vehicle. So we can see what are the various components that are present in the vehicle. So right from the electric traction motor, the major component, electric motor, the traction battery pack, the onboard charger, and also a charge port there, DC-DC converter, thermal system if needed, and power electronics controller. I'll show you what are the in detail components in the later. Okay. So we'll talk a little bit more about the major components in EV. Okay. So in EV, we have seen the differences, different vehicles there: HEV, BEV, PHEV, and FCEV. So here the major components will be the motor, the controller, the battery pack, and the charger. Okay. Yes, I'll come to that question in a second. Yes. So we'll go into the in depth of each and every component here. We'll see what are the latest technologies here. So fuel cell stack is supposed to be inside of hybrid hydrogen electric vehicle. So just let me go towards. Can you see the animation here? So this is the difference between an FCEV, fuel cell electric vehicle, which is also known as hydrogen electric vehicle, and also a BEV. Okay. So FCEV, fuel cell electric vehicle, is basically a vehicle which uses hydrogen to convert hydrogen, and uses oxygen to convert into electricity. Okay. So the output of which is only water vapor and heat. Okay, so there are no harmful emissions out of it. So there is a fuel cell stack. So fuel cell stack, the working principle is that it takes hydrogen from the chamber, the hydrogen tanks, what you can see in here. So what you can see in here are the hydrogen tanks. So from there it will take the hydrogen into the fuel cell stack, and also it will take oxygen from the air and convert into electricity. Okay, so this is the total life cycle here. So it will capture the power. It will this process is known as electrolysis, where hydrogen is separated from water. Okay, and then it is stored into a particular chamber, and that chamber the tank, and that is being distributed to some other hydrogen fueling stations, and from there it is fuel refueled in our car. Okay, and here what you can see in the BEV, so there is a direct process. We have a charging station there, we have a solar power for the charging stations, so we can actually directly integrate or else directly capture the power and source it into the vehicle there. So what do you think is more efficient, guys? Is a FCV more efficient, or else is a BEV more efficient?
BEV, sir.
Okay, so why do you think so? Is BEV more efficient?
Sir, in the case of hydrogen, the hydrogen vehicles, we have to afford a separate hydrogen converter for the usage of electricity in the EV, sir. But in this case, I mean the left side picture, we have to directly capture the power from the sun, and through solar panels we can convert it into electricity and directly into the electric vehicle. So here we don't require any hydrogen conversion machine devices.
Yes, exactly. So here we are indirectly using the power captured to produce hydrogen, and this is a lengthy process, and the efficiency of it is decreased. So until we reach our charging refueling stations, so until it reaches our car, the cost of per kilometer will be increased. Okay, so when you compare B with an FCEV, the cost of 1 kilometer per kilometer cost will be around the double the cost or something like that. Okay, because storing of hydrogen is very much complex, and also it takes a large amount of money there, and also distributing of hydrogen is also a murky process. So with all these considerations, the cost and efficiency of FCEV is not up to the point. So but there are little chances of hydrogen surviving. So it is not the only process where we can extract hydrogen from water. So there is also another process where we can take all the wastage, agriculture wastage, dump it in, and produce hydrogen out of it. Okay, there are some simpler and complex methods of generating hydrogen. So Nitin Gadkari, who is the Minister of Road Transport, he also said that we'll actually support farmers and agriculturists to produce their own hydrogen. So there will be hydrogen power plants in and around agriculture areas, so where they can produce hydrogen and sell it to hydrogen refilling stations. But the main drawback here is that about the infrastructure. Okay, FCV is better compared to BEV because FCV can travel more than 300 kilometers. Vishnu Teja, I don't. I'm not totally agreeing to the point because, see, Hyundai Kona, Hyundai Kona Electric, or any other electric car companies, if you can see their specifications, the single charge range that they give is that nearly 300 to 400 kilometers on a single charge. Okay, that is the range that we are expecting right now. Okay, so FCV, it is the major advantage of using a FCV is that we can refuel our hydrogen tank in under 1 minute. Okay, so it will hardly take you 1 minute to fully recharge your what do you call fully fill your hydrogen tank. So it will actually take you to nearly 300 to 400 kilometers. So but BV, there is a major constraint about the battery pack. So it will actually take you nearly 30 minutes, minimum of 30 minutes to maximum of 4 hours to fully charge your batteries. But then we are expecting there are so many logical methods where we can actually use battery swapping technologies to refill our vehicle in minutes or seconds. Okay, so but then FCVs are a little bit costlier to manage, and also the major drawback is that we do not have hydrogen refilling stations are all around the world, right? All around the country also. Okay, so it is for a hydrogen plant to set up, we need a complex environment there, we also need to make sure that the hydrogen is operated under safe conditions only. There should not be increase and decrease in temperature that will lead to a huge disaster there. And also, uh, if you can see in the market right now, LPG gas stations, so they are not for every 6 kilometers, right? You can actually find a diesel or a petrol bunk for every 3 kilometers. But LPG gas filling stations, you can only find them for every 100 kilometers or so, for 60 to 70 kilometers or so. So that will be the same condition for hydrogen stations. So you may not be able to refill your vehicle easily. Whereas BEV, you can actually sit at your home and charge your vehicle. Okay. Yes. So FCEV takes more energy, but we can get cheaper energy for it on freeways. So maybe we can or we cannot. But BEV is that we have a solar power. We can generate our own power. We can utilize it. We also have regenerative braking over there, and there are several incentives, and also the cost of electricity is also low nowadays. And also government is providing many more subsidies on electricity there. So we have a lot of advantages over there. Okay. Yes. So we have studied about the fuel cell stack here. So it is basically a part of a FCEV, fuel cell electric vehicle. So wherein it takes hydrogen and also oxygen and gives out electricity. The byproducts of it are only water and also air. Okay. So motor, there are different types of motor. We'll get back to it. So yes, let me just go on to the motor part. Yes. So the types of electric motors used in EVs. Okay, so there are different types of electric motors that are used in EVs actually. So coming from the two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and the four-wheelers. So these are the various types of motors that are used in EV. So there is a huge classification actually, starting from the AC motor, DC series, compound, and all that. But we're not going to focus on that actually. So here, brushless DC motor, the permanent magnet synchronous motor, AC induction motor, interior permanent magnet motor, and switch reluctance motor. So these are some of the major motors that are being used in each and every electric vehicle here. So BLDC motors are compact, and also they do have a lot of good torque characteristics. So it is basically used in smaller vehicles for up to 2 kilowatt or 3 kilowatt. So in bigger vehicles, in e-rickshaws, in everything, BLDC motor is used because control complexity is also less. So in PMSM motors, it is basically used in four-wheelers or else three-wheelers where they require a huge amount of loads and power there. Okay, AC induction motor is also used for huge applications. Interior permanent magnet IPM is also one of the technology. So where it is actually used for four-wheeler vehicles. Different car manufacturers use different kind of technology depending upon their the efficiency levels. Okay. But what you can see in the market right now, switch reluctance motor is one of the most famous motor right now. Okay. So when you compare induction motor with permanent magnet synchronous motor, so comparing all these motors ahead, switch reluctance motor is having high efficiency here. Okay. So if you're not aware of it, just do a little bit more research about SRM motors. So now currently all the Indian companies who are in the EV manufacturers, EV motor manufacturing, so they are focusing on switch reluctance motors. Okay. So because there are huge benefits of it. So they are more efficient than IPM, ACIM or PMSM. And also thing is that there are 10% more better. 10% in a sense they are more better in generating high torque. They are more there is no need of cooling the motor. The maximum speed is also very much high, and also there is no EMF, back EMF, high temperature capability. The torque ripple is very much good there. No noise, less noise and vibrations. Based on all these conditions, there are huge benefits of using a switch reluctance motors. Okay. So only thing that is a major disadvantage is that, so we need a complex control system to control the electric motor there, switch reluctance motor. So Indian researchers, many of the IITs, so they are actually focusing more on building a controller for switch reluctance motors. So we have a BLDC manufacturing plant in Chennai, and some more electric motors manufacturers in and around India. So they are focusing only on some of the variants there, such as 24 volt, 36 volt, 72 and kilowatts, 10 kilowatt, 5 kilowatt motors. So they are producing that, but here we are actually dependent on China again. Okay, so we are actually dependent upon China on the electric motors also. Okay, so this was all about the major electric motors that are used in the market. So if there are any questions, you will let me know.
Sir,
Yes, hello.
excuse me, sir. Sir, I think DC motors are better efficient than the AC motors, right, sir?
Yes, DC
So
motors are
why we
efficient.
are
Okay, yes, continue.
why we are using DC motors only by inverting DC into AC and converting into AC, and that too using as AC induction motors is
Yes,
a complexity in that way.
yes. So
So
I'd like to tell
directly we
you
are
the
using DC motors.
Yes, I'll tell you the major difference here. So for smaller ranges, BLDC and DC motors are okay. Okay, but they are bulkier in size. So once the rating goes on increasing from 1 kilowatt to 2 kilowatt and 5 kilowatt to 10 kilowatt. So when you compare a 10 kilowatt DC motor with that of a 10 kilowatt AC motor, you can really see the change, the difference in sizes and also weight, size to weight ratio, and also the torque ratio, and also the torque. Actually we can actually compare some of the characteristics there. The major constraint is about the power, the size and the weight ratio. Okay, so for a similar 10 kilowatt BLDC motor, so when you compare with that of AC motor, we can nearly find out nearly 20 to 30 kgs of size difference over there, depending upon the technology we are using. Okay, so BLDC with a synchronous motor. So nowadays, synchronous motor that can be only that can be fitted in the wheel itself. The wheel itself. Okay, so if you can see the Tesla motors, they have been using synchronous PMSM motors, also different types of motors. So they have fitted it in the axle only, and some of the companies they have fitted the motor inside of the hub also, hub of the wheel. Okay, so that is one different technology. So where compact size and more efficient motors are being discovered there. So BLDC are good for a certain amount of certain ratings, but after that when we are going for bigger ratings, we need to choose a different type of what do you call, the AC or the DC, synchronous or something like that. Okay, so that is mainly because of the size and the weight ratio. So we will also, I'm not sure if I'm having the pictures right now. So I'll see, I'll post it down in somewhere. So where we can see the major difference between the BLDC motors and also AC motors when we are going for higher ratings. Okay. So then we'll now move on to the battery pack here. So let me just see. See, battery pack, battery technologies, we have been seeing a lot of technological change here. So every country in the world is immature of battery technology. Okay. So we are still trying to develop the more efficient battery packs here, the battery cells here. Okay, so out of which these are some of the cells here: LFP, lithium iron phosphate, nickel manganese cobalt, LMO, lithium manganese oxide, NCA, lithium nickel cobalt, lithium cobalt oxide. Yes, someone has raised a hand. Yes, Kashif, is there anything to tell? Yes. So these are some of the battery, battery compositions that we are having in the market right now. So out of which this LFP is one of the safest of the battery pack. Okay. So LFP is lithium iron phosphate, LiEP, FePH4. So NMC, nickel manganese cobalt oxide. This is one of the batteries which are NCA is actually used in Tesla. So NMC is also one of the good batteries there. So LFP is one of the one of the safest batteries. We also have LTO batteries, lithium titanate oxide and lithium and also in the near future we are also going to see sodium ion batteries and also lithium sulfur batteries, which are having much more higher energy density. Okay, so there is no danger of thermal runaway. That means that they can work for wide ranges of temperatures. All the batteries that we can see here are very much dependent upon temperatures. Okay, as temperatures decrease or increase, the batteries properties also change. Okay, so there is no cooling equipment required. LFP, and NMC it is required. So also if you can see the thousand cycles, the number of cycles where it can sustain up to, so 8,000, 10,000, 5,000 cycles. So depending upon this, we actually select the ratings of the battery, compositions of the batteries. Okay, so I'm not going to go in depth of all those things. So let me just take you over to some of the in-depth components what we can find in a particular electric vehicle. So this may be a electric car or else electric auto, not electric auto, electric car or something like that. So where we can see, so gearbox may be there or may not be there. So it is not suggested to keep a gearbox in the electric vehicle because it can function, it has the same torque. The electric motor is efficient enough to work without a gearbox. So there is a HV heater, uh, heating, ventilation and cooling system. There is a power distribution unit here. There is a cooling system for the battery pack as well. A relay module, a BMS, a high voltage charger, a battery pack, and VPIM, HVDC and DC and display. So there are different types of components which are put in a electric vehicle actually. Okay. So we'll just move on to the further slides. So I'll just, so cell formats here. So we have studied about the battery packs, right? So the cell formats that are available in the market right now are the cylindrical cells, prismatic, and also pouch cells are available. So what you can see here, the cell which is made into a module and module is made into a pack. Okay. Uh, Battery packs, there are so many battery manufacturing plants that are going to come in the next year or so. Adani Group, BHEL, IOC, so many other big companies, they are trying to set up electric vehicle battery battery cell manufacturing plants in India. Okay, they are actually trying to set up battery manufacturing plants in India that is going to impose a lot of good jobs for engineers. Okay, so there is a huge demand of energy storage in the upcoming years. So we'll see, we have to train accordingly. So now coming to the charger technologies. So we have three different types of charging technologies: conductive, inductive, and battery swapping. Okay, so the conductive is nothing but a wide charging, AC charging and the DC charging. Inductive is much more related to wireless. So wireless charging technologies, wireless power transmission. So it is being developed by China, one of which is being developed by in China, and also Tesla is also developing one for their electric vehicle also. So inductive battery charging, there are some certain startup companies who are trying to build a WPT system, that is wireless power transmission system, for e-bikes also. Okay, battery swapping is one good technology, one good logical method where people are trying to lower down the time and also lower down the cost of the vehicle by implementing this type of system there. I'll talk more about this one in the next slides. See, AC charging, AC level 1, level 2, level 3, DC, which is basically the fast charging, plug-in and pantograph. Okay, so this is basically AC charger and a DC charger. And here what you can see are the various charging stations in and around Telangana. Okay, so you can see there are a number of charging stations that was in the in 6 months back, but now you can see there are 400 more charging stations that are going to come here. Okay, so in Andhra Pradesh, in AP, 400 EV charging stations are to be come up. Okay, so the government has put down so many proposals in putting on 400 EV charging stations. And Magenta Power is also setting up 10,000 e-two-wheeler charging stations in Maharashtra. See, there is a lot of technological change going on in a sector. So this is high time for you guys to get enough knowledge in this sector. I'll tell you what are the things that you need to do. So if you want to get into this sector in the upcoming slides. So this is one interesting startup that is known as the Kirana charger. So what it typically does is that they install a charging station, small charging station that is suitable only for e-rickshaws and two-wheelers. That is basically a smaller 3.3 kilowatt charging stations. So that are being implemented at households or Kirana places. So for every 1 unit consumed, the people will charge the Kirana store guy a minimum of per unit will be around 6 rupees to 10, 16, 20 rupees. So they can, the government will charge them around 6 rupees to 10 rupees. But they will be charging around 20 rupees also per unit. So there are various tariff rates for that. Yes. See, we'll also discuss some of the EV myths that we are actually seeing here. Yes. Uh, so what are the electric vehicle myths here? We actually feel that there are some kind of challenges in electric vehicles, but are they really there? So offers inadequate driving range. So is that real right now? So if you're talking more about, before 5 to 6 years, then this can be, this was a major reason there. Okay, but now we can see that there are nearly electric vehicles so which are giving 300 plus driving range there. Okay, 300 plus kilometers driving range. So this is not a myth here. So this is not a myth here, this is not a drawback anymore. So people are, companies are focusing more on good energy density cell. So good, there's a lot of technological change going on in the battery cell production also, where they're trying to increase a specific energy and energy density without having to change in the size of the battery pack here. Okay. And maybe you can also ask me that, see, we are actually, see, even if we switch on to electric vehicles, the major of the electrical energy in India is being generated by coal thermal power plants. Yes. So maybe it was being generated, but right now solar power and wind power are, they are charged equally, same as that of coal power. Okay. The solar rates have gone down, solar charging stations have been put down, and wind power stations are also put down. So in some few, in like 5 to 10 years, the whole thermal power plants will be replaced by renewable energy sources such as the solar, hydel, and also the wind power. So that we have to see in the upcoming years. So there is a good amount of technology change and also good change that is going to decrease the pollution here. Okay. EV batteries are non-recyclable. So this is not an issue here. So recently there was a post made by IIT Madras. So where they said that they are recycling the lithium-ion batteries up to 100% extent. Okay. So they are claiming that 100% of the lithium-ion batteries are being recycled. Okay. So 95% of lithium, 95% of cobalt, 93% of nickel manganese, and 90% of graphite, everything is being recovered by used batteries. Okay. So there are no particular equipments for recycling as of now, but in the upcoming years everything will be there right now. Okay, there with us. So every batteries can be recycled, so without having, without creating any emissions while recycling also. So we'll have to look at that. So EVs are expensive. So that is where EVs are is quite expensive, because this is a good technology and this is the latest technology, and latest technologies are always quite costlier. So we don't have to worry about that, because government also came up with a scheme where we can actually buy the vehicles without having to invest in the battery packs. Okay. So we can, without buying the battery packs, we can buy the vehicles and rent the batteries. So that is where battery swapping stations come to the point. So what you can see here is a particular battery swapping stations which is developed by Some Mobility. in collaboration with IOC. So they have developed battery swapping stations for two-wheelers and also e-rickshaws, where people can, in minutes or seconds, they can quickly exchange the battery packs with the help with the new fully filled battery packs there. Okay, so what you can see here, Sun Mobility is in partnership with Microsoft, Uber, Piaggio, Smarty, Ashok Leyland. These are some of the good companies here. Okay, so what you can see down, Lithium Power, these are all the companies that are focusing on battery swapping stations. Okay, so let me just go on to the most interesting part right now. Yes, do you want to know about the job fields and roles, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what you can see here, guys, see, since there is a lot of technological change, and many of the industries are telling that they do not have a skilled manpower there. So what the requirement is and what they're actually getting out of the BTech graduates or any students is not yet matched. Okay, so we have actually hired so many of the interns. Nearly 1,000 came up, but only 30 of them we selected because no one was having relevant information about the about electric vehicles, nor they do not have any relevant software technologies or relevant skills or talents for that. Okay, so there is a large what do you call gap in between the education system and what the market requires. Okay, so we have to make sure that we are going towards, or we are developing our skills and talents which are meant to be used which are in requirement for any other industries. Okay, so these are some of the things here. So scientific research. So in order to improve the performance of electric vehicles, especially the batteries, recharging and other materials, so there is a huge requirement over here. So many of the startup companies are focusing on creating their own battery pack management systems, BMSs, or battery pack casing, the cell holders, every part of it. So no, we can actually get into this particular field. And knowledge or skill focus, chemistry and material sciences. We need to know what chemical composition your battery pack is having and how are they behaving according to different environmental conditions and all that. And design and development. Mechanical engineers as well as electrical engineers, do you have a greater opportunity here? See, they have to design, they have to test, integrate components such as engine or electric motors or batteries, generators, and so many other things together, right? So before we actually work on things practically, we have to do theoretical assumptions and theoretical simulations, right? So that is where design and development comes to the point. So there is a lot of engineers needed, softwares, tools needed. So based on the tools, technologies that other companies are using, the companies that are dependent upon, so we need to learn the softwares or tools, and we need to make sure we are ready for the next stage. Okay, so no one yeah, what you're reading right now, the BTech part, see what we are reading right now. So once we are out of the triple or the mechanical branch, so we are not sure in which particular sector or which particular area we need to go, right? And lastly, we end up in what, in an IT sector. So that is not the point here. So it is totally changed right now. So now there are so many huge opportunities in the market right now. We just need to find out the right one, and we need to find out which particular skill is best suitable for us, and we need to go in that particular direction. Okay, so manufacturing. So in manufacturing processes, including machine tools, a lot of requirement is there, and also maintenance. So once, see, repair. So anyone can manufacture an electric vehicle. So by watching a YouTube video, we can actually there are so many enterprises who do a lot of retrofittation things, or else converting bikes into conventional bikes into electric bikes. They do a lot of conversions there, but maintaining, troubleshooting, and repairing things is one of the prominent, what do you call, we should have a lot of experience in that. Okay, so we need to know about each and every component. We need to know how to troubleshoot them. So maintenance, sales and services and maintenance. are one of the crucial things. So where there is a huge demand over there. Okay, and infrastructure, and to set up charging stations. So there are so many charging stations that are going to be implemented. So servicing of charging stations, maintenance of charging stations, and setting up of charging stations, we need so many people there. Okay, so these are some of the field roles depending upon your engineering specific engineering branches. I'll just move on to one more. Yes, this one. Yes. So as a student, what you should learn actually. So after these two slides, I don't want to trouble you guys. Then we'll just move on to the Q&A session where you can ask me multiple doubts on what sector I have to go in, or what are the next steps that I have to take in order to get placed in any company or do something. Okay, have your own startup as well. So what should I learn now? So now that I've learned a lot about the EV technology here, so what should I do right now? Okay, so EV sector is really vast. So there are different types of components that are meant to be focused. So once if you want to get into if you want to land a good job or else get into this sector, you should have a wide variety of knowledge, wide amount of knowledge in all the detailed parts of a electric vehicle. Okay, the first one specifies that study about EV in detail. We need to know about each system and subsystems, how they work in, how they are integrated together, and after that EV at subsystem level. So once we are aware of all the parts that are being integrated with each other, so we need to focus on each part, like a motor, or else battery management system, or else battery pack, or else casing, or else wiring and harness, or else controller, power electronics devices, or else any other power distribution units or something like that. We need to focus on some other components there. So choose a specialization you like or need in the industry. Okay, so once you're okay with that, so you need to choose a particular specialization that you like, or there is a need in the industry. Okay, so if you're if you like to work on BMS system, so you need to make sure that there is certain need for that in industry. Okay, you need to do a little more research and figure out if there are if there are relevant requirements in the industry. So this is a particular step by step process flow here. So you cannot jump directly into the third step here. Okay, so without knowing any studying about EV in detail, so without knowing about each and every component, you cannot directly go into the next step, because that is going to create a lot of chaos. So at the end, what you're doing, you're trying to integrate all the components, right? So we have to make sure how the product or the component reacts. So when it is integrated with other components, so we need to study about their efficiencies, how they react when they are integrated with other components. So we have to have a combined knowledge on all the EV components there. And the fourth point, approach industry experts. So once we are okay with once you have learned a lot of good technology there, then we need to approach industry experts, then do some good projects over there. So do some DIY projects, or else simulations, or else do any what do you call hardware related projects. So we also need to learn about tools used in the industry. So various companies are using various tools such as MATLAB, Simulink, and also ANSYS, CATIA, Effluent, and also there are so many testing softwares of Siemens company for battery testing, powertrain, and all that. And after that, you just get an internship. Okay. Yes, there are so many companies, there are so many startups. If you can find out in the net, they are providing internship opportunities. So once you get a startup, internship in a startup company, you can just think like them, and also have a great exposure, and also you can excel your career in that direction. Okay, so this is where I end my presentation right now. So there are so many things that are meant to be discussed, but I guess it is best time for us to end. So I'll just one particular slide is left, that will that is actually based on the EV business ideas, what you as an engineer can do. So we can set up a electric car, bike, or a scooty conversions startup, battery manufacturing or swapping, we can say do sales of electric vehicle and accessories.
సార్ 2 నిమిషాల నుంచి ఆపుదాం.
So there are various things that you can do over here. Okay. Yes. So ma'am, we'll just the session is open for questions right now. So we'll just let students ask any relevant questions and I'm going to answer them.
Sure, Deepesh, sure.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Yes.
Thank you, sir, for valuable information to give you electric vehicle.
Mhm.
Sir, can you explain in the battery management system of the electric vehicle?
Okay. So you're basically from, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Myself, Meera Ali Khan. I'm completed MTech.
Okay, you're MTech. Which particular specialization?
Power system engineering.
Okay, great. So BMS is an electronic device which is basically put in a battery pack which has a very different functionality. So lithium-ion batteries are very much unstable in nature. Okay, so they are quite unstable. They are much more dependent upon temperature. So with increase or decrease of temperature, the whole the battery pack might get blasted, or else severe conditions might occur. Okay, so you know lithium-ion battery pack can function well only from 24 degrees centigrade to 45 degrees centigrade. If the temperature is increased above that particular area, then the battery is going to burst out, or else it is going to cause flammable gases, or emissions will be there, something serious issue will be there. So in order to protect the battery pack from entering the that is known as the thermal runaway, what entering that condition, the BMS is used, battery management system, where it tries to cut off the battery pack if there is any increase of temperature, or if there is any short circuit, over voltage, or over current. So if the BMS system discovers any abrupt change in the battery pack, then it will try to disengage the system. So battery management system is useful for charging the batteries equally. So without a battery management system, we cannot charge all the batteries equally. And yes, and that there are huge benefits of using a battery management system. We can have a class about that actually. Yes.
Sir, instead of lithium-ion battery, so the Tesla company using a solid batteries.
Yes, Tesla company is using what?
Solid batteries.
Solid state batteries.
Solid batteries.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Tesla is
In
actually using
2022.
FCEV batteries right now, as of now, and they do have a different dimensions over there. So what dimensions that we are using right now is 18650, but Tesla is using 21170 dimension cell. So that is having a 5.5 times more energy density, and it can have a good amount of energy storage over there. Okay, so solid state batteries are not yet into the market right now, but in upcoming 5 to 10 years they might be into the market. Solid state batteries, it is still immature actually. Yes. So any more questions on the board?
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yes. So who is this? A little description about yourself.
Sir, I'm Ramagiri from the Methodist College of Engineering.
Okay.
Sir, I am the BTech graduate from Methodist College of Engineering Technology at Abbott's Coating.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, actually my question is, being in EV field, there will be many job opportunities to all the branches, especially as you told just now, computer engineering, etc. Sir, for particular EV job placements or job opportunities, what the specialization courses we should study in the further education like MTech and further, etc.
See now, basically the courses have been changed a lot. We can see there are so many hybrid electric vehicle courses also integrated in MTech. You can also find out so many other courses online or else NPTEL. You can see different courses that in HIW also we also give them. So that is basically a 3 to 4 month course, or else a 1 month to 3 months course. So where we teach them about the basics first, as I told you in the presentation. So first we need to know about the whole EV as a whole, study about EV in the whole. So try to focus on this particular course here. So we have already taken a few of the courses here. So and then EV at a subsystem. So you need to focus on one particular subsystem there. Okay. So in order to become, or in order to get placed in a good company, so there are multiple courses that you can do. So just we need to know what the actual requirement in the market is. So if you are interested in AI and ML, so there is also a huge requirement in the market, in the EV market as well. But you need to know which companies are focusing on that particular technology. Okay. See, back in 2017, when we were developing hybrid electric vehicles, so no other companies were focusing on that, and we do not have enough opportunity to get into any other company. So, but same as that, you need to figure out if there are any companies that are focusing on the technology that you are actually focusing, such as AI and ML, or else any other that kind. So we need to focus on companies that what companies are actually more preferring more, and only then we will be able to get into a good job or a good company. Okay. Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Myself, Sainath. I have done my BTech in St. Peter's Engineering College.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sir. In final year, I have done project on MPPT based, sir,
Mm-hmm.
which is nothing but maximum power plant tracking based on the PV cells.
Okay.
Uh, Actually, that is a efficient than the efficient to make the any solar power per maximum at any level, any healthy, any rainy conditions, any atmosphere conditions. It is very helpful in that field. So if you people are using that kind of technology in your EV cells,
Okay.
is
So can you come up can we be more specific about the question once?
yes, sir, definitely. The maximum power plant tracking it is a based on the PV cells developing.
Mm-hmm.
It gives more efficient to come up more power from the solar in
Okay.
any atmosphere conditions. Some rainy season will be there, so on that time the sun capacity will be very less. On that time we are focusing that by taking solar as much as small level. By taking we are getting more power, maximize the power level,
Mm-hmm.
and to get output from the solar we are using maximum power plant tracking. And in that one some chargers will be there, DC to DC buck booster chargers, and some inverter and rectifier. By using these kind of material we are coming out some extra power to develop our solar capacity.
Okay. So
In
you
that
meant to
way,
be installing the solar panels on electric vehicles?
sir.
Are you talking about installing solar panels on electric vehicles and also implementing your technique there in PPT?
Yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay.
Is
Yes.
that is possible? I think it is a more cost, I think so. But in we can reduce that cost also by using any electronic equipments like any
Yes.
upgrading
Yes.
technology.
So basically, if we have seen all the companies that are producing electric cars, so they do not implement any solar panel on the rooftop. So there are some good reasons for that. First one is that EVs, the rooftop of solar is only having a small amount of surface area. Okay, only the rooftop that is not going to generate much of the electricity. And one more thing is that we do have a lot of power electronics parts there that will increase the overall cost of the vehicle, but it will not increase the mileage or else the range of the vehicle, right? So one is the cost, one is the surface area, and one is the good technology there. And also because solar energy is only 21 to 22% efficient, the max good company solar panel is only that much efficient, and because of which we are that is the efficient uh, the cost and also the surface area are the great drawbacks of not using a solar panel. But in few more years, there are some companies who are actually focusing on solar panels as well. So maybe we can come up with more efficient solar panels so that we can generate good amount of energy over there. And also because of the reason that electric vehicles are always driven, so they are not stable, so they are driven, and also they are parked in they're not always parked in sunny conditions, so it is impossible to generate good amount of electricity there. Okay, so that are major drawbacks there. And also it increases the overall cost of the vehicle at once. Okay, so there is a possibility of doing that. So maybe you can have your own startup as well if you can implement a system. So where you can increase the efficiency of the electricity generated on a vehicle. Okay, so you can use wind energy also to generate electricity on the vehicle. You can use solar energy, wind energy, and vibration energy, and also heat energy to generate to transform the heat generated by motor or else battery into electricity. So you can do so many of the electricity generations in an electric vehicle. So that will in turn increase the overall range of the vehicle. Okay, you can focus on that actually.
I
Yes.
think Naveen has a question, Deepesh.
Yes,
Naveen,
yes.
are there?
Yes, Naveen. So we'll have a few more questions and then we'll wind it up.
Yes, yes. Naveen, you're there? You wanted to answer question something?
Okay,
Okay.
anyone else?
Sir, I am Krishnaveni. I finished my electrical engineering from Narayana College, sir.
Okay,
I
okay,
have
great.
it. If we see the electric vehicles from top companies, they are giving more advanced features like automatic gate system and many more advanced technologies are implemented into electric vehicle. Due to this, the cost of the electric vehicle is increasing, sir. Instead of giving the advanced facilities and increasing the cost of electric vehicles, why can't we provide the basic facilities so that the cost of the vehicle decreases and the middle class people also can afford for it?
Okay.
That's my question.
So for which particular vehicle are you referring to? Is that a e-bike, e-cycle, e-vehicle, e-car,
E-car, sir.
e-car? Okay. So e-car, that the one that we have cheapest is the Mahindra e-Verito. So that is nearly 14 to 15 lakhs. So there are, the only major drawback of an electric car is that the 50 to 60% of the whole vehicle cost is because of the battery packs only. Okay, so if you want to buy a Mahindra e-Verito there, so without the battery pack, it will cost you only 6 lakhs to 7 lakhs. Without the whole car will cost you 6 to 7 lakhs. With the battery pack, it will cost you around 12 to 13 lakhs. The on-road price. So that is not because of the electronics. So that are the basic electronics that we need there, but that is because of the rise in battery cost there. So nowadays people are focusing more on battery technology parts. So in the upcoming years, see, back in 2001 or 2, the lithium-ion battery cost was really high. So now the price has nearly dropped up to 70%. So there are chances that lithium once Indian production will be started, the cost will be decreased, and after that the overall vehicle cost also will be decreased. Okay, so in order to decrease the cost of the vehicle, we have to focus on the battery pack only. Okay, there are no other things that we can do, remove out. We should only focus on we can only focus on lowering the battery cost. Okay, or else we can use such a battery swapping techniques, so that we can only rent out the batteries but not buy them, and because of which the overall cost of the vehicle will be decreased. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Any more doubts?
It's a small question, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Sir, for example, Tata Nexon EV, sir.
Yes. Who is
Hello.
it? Yes. Yes. Who is it talking?
This is sir. This is Gopi, sir. I completed my MTech from KL University, sir.
Okay.
My doubt is, sir, I driven the Tata electrical EV, sir.
Okay.
It charges. It takes 1 hour time to charge its battery, and it's 50 kilowatt capacity, sir, at fast charging level.
Okay.
But they are saying that if we give more than this charging capacity, the batteries will get heat up,
Yes,
and
yes.
it will reduce the lifetime of battery.
Mhm.
My question is that is there any technique to increase the charging, I mean decrease the charging time in 30 minutes, and alternatively giving cooling to the batteries? Is there any particular technique is there, sir?
See, there are so many companies that are focusing on fast charging technologies. See, even Tesla is having a good technique there. So they have
Yes,
a
sir.
integrated liquid cooling system. So if you can see the tear down part of the lithium-ion battery pack, you can see a liquid coolant that is flowing in between each and every a strip of lithium batteries there. Okay, so even though the cooling system is there, so if you can find out, when using a DC fast charger, so Tesla is telling that the life of the battery pack will decrease if you are continuously using a DC fast charger. Okay, so that is because of the material composition that we are actually having. So because of that material composition, the batteries are quite unstable in nature. So lithium iron phosphate is pretty much good for fast charging, but they do not, but they are bulkier, bulkier than NCA. So if
Yes.
10 Ah battery packs weighs 3.2 kgs for lithium-ion battery, it will weigh 5.2 kgs or 6 kgs for LFP battery. Okay. So what we are trying to say is that we have to decrease the amount of charging time, but
Yes,
increase
sir.
increase the cooling
Fastness of.
system. Yes, yes, fastness of charging, right? So we can actually do that, but that will result in decrease in the life of the battery packs.
It actually give the 8 years warranty of the battery pack, sir. EV. In my friend's electrical EV, Tata gives 8 years warranty. In the 8 years warranty, you can continuously take the charge of DC. They say, sir.
Okay, okay. So there will be some conditions applied there. So if a battery manufacturer, so when you try to exchange your battery there, so they will check that the battery should not be less than having a 80% less than 80% DOD, that is depth of discharge. So they are going to check that. So there will be that will be in the conditions applied. So if it is less than the DOD that is mentioned in their warranty book or something, so they will, based on that, they are going to give you warranty. Okay.
Okay,
So
sir.
if you're charging it well, if you're discharging it well, if you're not deeply discharging it, or if you're not fully, it is okay not to okay to fully charge, but it's not okay to fully discharge. So once the battery is fully discharged, the DOD or else SOC will come down, and that is what battery manufacturers are going to see. So when you go for claiming your warranty, they will check that, and then they will tell you if you are eligible, if your battery pack is eligible for a newer battery pack or not. Okay.
Okay. I want to ask question, sir. Is this real time possible to actually give lifetime of 8 years, sir? They said 8 years, but I think it will not give that time that much of reliable, sir.
Yes, yes. See, basically batteries that we have now is having nearly 10,000 cycles, that is up to 3 years. I'm not sure
Yes, sir.
if the real warranty is of 8 years. So I'll check that once. So I'm not
Yes,
sure
sir.
what are the conditions there. So we need to
Okay,
check
sir.
on the deep conditions there and figure out there should be one particular condition that should be taking out our consumption there. We'll see that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much,
Okay,
sir.
thank you. So we'll have one more question and then we'll close.
Hello,
Yes.
sir. This course is available where?
I'm sorry, you're not audible.
Sir, this course is available where?
Kindly consult Bhavya ma'am for that. She will actually
Right.
tell you.
Tushar, you can call upon these numbers mentioned in the chat box for the other queries. I think. Yes, Tushar, we'll consult you, Tushar, regarding this, and we'll come back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So, Bhavya,
Yes, sir.
I think let's conclude the session.
Sure, sure, sir.
So,
Great.
thanks, Dipesh. Thanks for your valuable session, and it was very informative. we hope let's conduct so many sessions like this in near future.
Yes, sir, sure.
And thank you guys. Thanks all of you for attending the session and make it big success. Bhavya, and the thing is, I just want to tell you one thing. We are going to start one job-oriented training on November 25th, which will give you overall idea and overall knowledge about electrical system design. It comes around like a substation design and solar PV plant design and all electrical equipment sizing calculation, etc. And also soon we're planning to start up with one more training program, that is electric vehicle system, with the help of Deepesh if he is agree. Okay, so chalo then. Thanks Deepesh. Thank you guys. Thanks to all of you.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Deepesh, for your
If
time.
you have any queries, already our people has given number in the chat box. You can note down the numbers and you please call back so that we will clear all your doubts.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
and Venkatesh Shivaprasad, the respective session is been recorded in YouTube, and you'll get this in YouTube. You will also get our YouTube link to view it on our HIW page channel. You can view it on it. Okay, and please give your valuable feedback, guys, and that helps us to get more reach you people in a better way. I just feel it, and thank you so much for your valuable time. And that's it, I guess. Any more queries, guys? Coming back to our HIW, last point regarding HIW, we HIW, as already mentioned, our training institute who trains electrical engineers in order to bridge the gap between the industry and academia. And we also give placement assistance to students who get trained with us and show them a proper guidance in getting to the right profile. That's all about us. And any more information you need, you can approach us on the given details and the numbers. Thank you so much for information. Yeah, thanks guys, have a good day. Thanks Deepesh.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you, sir. So we'll meet again, guys. If there are any queries, if there is anything that you want to know about your future and how you want to pave your career in electric vehicle industry, so we'll have a,
Actually,
simple
when
chat.
I've seen the feedback of it, many are expecting more sessions from you on detailed individual part of it. We'll look into it and then we'll come back to you, Deepesh. Yes.
Yes, yes, sure, ma'am. Yes. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes. Thank you.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Yeah. Bye. Have a good day.
Same to you, ma'am.